My 2026 plant wish list awaits. I collect a wide variety of plants and made great progress in the greenhouse last year, so I really want to treat myself in 2026. I'm going to reflect on last year's wish list as well and what surprised me the most. If you've been here before or checked out my Instagram, you would know that I collect a wide variety of plants. It's not only about their beauty, but more so the vibe that they bring to a space. Today I'm revisiting my 2025 plant wish list to show you which plants I got, how they're doing, and the surprise I mentioned is not what you expect. Well, I definitely didn't expect it. There's going to be heartbreak in all shapes and forms, so prepare yourself. So hi, hello, if you're new here, my name is Candice, and yes, this is a faceless plant YouTube channel. If you're anything like me and just want to see more plants and less people, you're in the right place. I share realistic plant care, greenhouse life, and just my overall journey as a plant collector here living in Trinidad in the Caribbean. And let me tell you, it is not as easy or any easier to have a tropical plant collection here in the tropics. There are different struggles. There's always a struggle, and that's what I share here on this channel. Most importantly, though, I share how I get around these challenges. And I was so excited to make this wish list video because it's going to be a little bit of everything. It's going to be, the thrill of acquiring new plants and what it entailed to keep them happy if I was able to even keep them alive. So, there's a lot to look forward to in this video, and I hope you guys stick around. Okay, so I'm going to start with a spoiler alert. I'm going to categorize these wish list plants based on, well, two categories. The first being the ones that I got and wouldn't replace, so you could guess what happened there. And the second category, the official 2026 wish list, which will contain some repeats from 2025. If you want to catch up before proceeding, you could watch this video first. Okay, so coming in first, in the first category of plants that I got but would not replace, I'm going to start with my Anthurium Zara Michelle. So on my 2025 wish list was Anthurium Michelle. Just a pure Michelle was what I was out for. However, locally, Zara Michelles were available. And of course, with all the hype of a Michelle, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get the Zara Michelle because who knows if I'll ever even get a Michelle. So I jumped at the opportunity and I got this plant. It was such a great specimen, top tier specimen. I couldn't ask for a healthier plant. It was well acclimated. It gave me 2 new leaves in like no time. But why I wouldn't replace it, and well, by now you would know it croaked. By no fault of its own, it really just didn't survive the move. But yeah, why I wouldn't replace it is because I have a pure Zara, which you can see here. Having grown my Zara to maturity and having acquired the Zara Michelle, I got the seedling genuinely hoping that it would present more Michelle traits, and well, it didn't in this case. Now, I love the seedling, I absolutely adored it, but in hindsight, it does not present Michelle vibes, and really and truly, my heart wants a pure Michelle. Now, don't get me wrong, and I know it might be confusing that the Zara Michelle wasn't the wishless plant in the first place, but in Trinidad, you never know what you're going to get, so this might have been the closest to getting one. And who would have thought they became available at Home Depot? So now I think my chances are a lot higher to get a pure Michelle. And for simply that reason is why I won't be replacing my Zara Michelle. With that said, that's it for category 1. And in true plant parent logic, that's the only one I would not replace. Everything else, I really hope that I can replace them. What you're seeing right now, if you missed that first video, are the rest of my wishlist plants that I was able to acquire, but I lost them. And I really, really hope to be able to replace them sooner than later. So the first in category 2 is my Philodendron Esmeraldens. This is footage of me acquiring it. It was not available at the time locally. I believe it became available late last year, late 2025 at Magnolia Landscaping. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But I acquired my specimen directly from Ecuagenera, and a very kind friend of mine brought it for me. So technically, this one was an import, but not in the traditional way per se. My friend was traveling, and she was able to bring these with her on her way back for me. And what you're seeing me here is getting ready to acclimate these plants that came in that batch, which included my Philodendron Esmeraldens. Side note, you're going to see exactly how I was able to acclimate my esmeraldens and bring it back to all its glory. I will link that video if you are planning on importing locally and would like some help in terms of getting your plants happy and healthy again locally. Right, so my esmeraldens, like I said, I got it from Equigenera and it came in really, really, really good condition. It probably was only under some stress or uprooted and placed in moss for export. It was probably under those conditions for about 5 or 6 days per se. So it was. Look at it here. It was still fairly perky. The roots, you're gonna get a close up of it soon, but it was not looking stressed in any way. So I was pretty confident from the start, having gotten this one, and it was just way, way bigger than I expected it to be. Compared to my SB Columbia here, which is on the screen, it is quite floppy, it's even damaged. My Esmeraldans came in, basically giving me a head start. So I wanna just touch a little bit on how things come when you do an import, just so that if you're considering it, you know what to expect, and just a little goes a long way, I think, with sharing footage on plants that were imported, whether a friend brought it for you or in the traditional sense. So I'm just giving you a sneak peek of what I do. All the details will be in this linked video. So after inspecting the roots and stuff, they looked great. Look at them for yourself. They are dense and they do not look as though they're rotting. Nothing is mushy. To me, this was ready to be potted up. And all I did to get this back on its way was give it a 24-hour soak in water. Unlike my SB Columbia, which you can see here has not recovered, I had to take extra measures to revive that. And you'll see that in the video that I mentioned before. But in terms of my Esmeraldens, it was on its way. It was healthy, it was luscious, it was beautiful, and I just couldn't wait to get it in soil to continue to size it up for it to really achieve its potential. Here's a pro tip for imported plants. From the time you established your root zone, or you can ascertain the size of it, I actually pot it in a pot that is very close to the size of the root ball, or something that will give the plant the feeling that it's root bound. The logic behind it, and this is from my experience and me testing theories online, is that there's the potential for the plant to shed roots, even though they look great now. By the time they get into your space and get into this pot and get familiar with your way of caring for plants, so that the root system or the plant itself has enough wiggle room to shed those roots without being overly smothered in an abundance of wet soil that could exacerbate root rot. So, having put my best foot forward in getting my esmeraldens ready to be growing in my garden, the last thing I had to do was make an intelligent guess to secure or to find the best location I could think of to help it be on its way. Luckily and thankfully for me, very soon after it put out its first new leaf in my care, and I was absolutely thrilled. I knew, I checked all the boxes, and now it was time to just watch it thrive. Then came that bittersweet moment where my family and I were about to move into our forever home, and it just did not survive the move. If you want to watch how I moved my entire plant collection of about 500 plants to my new home, you can watch this. And so it's back on my wish list. Next on my 2026 wish list is what's up on the screen now, which is my Anthurium luxurians platinum. I got this one locally from a Maison Tropical. If you want one, I'll be sure to link her information below. She actually sold me the Zara Michelle as well. She has such top-notch plants. Once she imports them, she really takes the time to acclimate them before pushing them off. So again, I got a really, really top-tier specimen from her. And unfortunately, it succumbed to the same fate as my Esmeraldens, and it just did not survive the move. At the time of bringing it home, I did not have the greenhouse set up as yet, and it was in my plant room. If you remember me converting a storeroom into a plant room, you could watch this video if you want to see that setup. But it put out a new leaf in the plant room, but it just didn't make it long term, so it's back on the list. In that video, I explain why the plants I selected last year made it to wishlist status, but more importantly, it's hilarious to watch because I have come a long way on YouTube. Well, to me anyway, my video production has improved, but I know I'm still miles off compared to other plant YouTubers. But I've started and I'll be moving forward ever, backward never. So go have a laugh as well. The third plant on my 2026 wish list is the variegated gloriosum. This is another that I acquired in 2025 from SG's. I'll also link her information in the description below if you want to get one locally. My ultimate wish for this particular plant though is to get a specimen from Keely Ellen or NSC Tropical. Of course, a specimen from either one of them will cost a hand and a foot. So in the meanwhile, I got this one because I thought it really was an exceptional specimen. I was beyond shocked to know it was available locally, much less when I heard the price. But it was just so beautiful. The color blocking, variegation, as well as that speckling, really, really captivated me. So I just bit the bullet and I added it to my collection. At first, in my existing growing conditions, it was easy going, but just like the rest, when we started moving and environmental conditions changed, my care was not sufficient enough to keep it alive and I lost it. With that said, it's right back on my 2026 wish list and it's more available locally. Joel's Exotics also have them available. Okay, number 4 on my 2026 plant wish list is Philodendron luxurians. Yep, there's a Philo luxurians. If you didn't know, there isn't only Anthurium luxurians, there's also a Philolux. This is one I acquired back in 2022, 2023, when I was now learning about myself, really experimenting with plants, and I lost this one. This one was a favorite from very early on in the hobby. It is such a movie to watch when the emergent leaf is coming out. In general, it's just a show-stopping plant. If you have one or if you've had one, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. But the plant is absolutely electric. The veins are electric, and when the emergent leaf actually starts to unfurl, it is bubblegum pink. I'm going to link my epic fails video because the entire story in full detail is in that video, and there's so much to learn from that one. I really recommend you watch it. Coming in at number 5 on my 2026 plant wish list is Philodendron squamicol blood. As with my Philolux, I acquired this one back in 2022, 2023, when Kaylee Ellen first featured it, right after she presented it. I was absolutely smitten and I had to get one, and it was available on Equigenera at the time. I jumped on it immediately, and a friend brought it home for me. And this was my first experience with trying to acclimate a plant, and it didn't go as planned. As with the Philolux in my epic fails video, you can get the full 411 on exactly what went wrong, why it went wrong, and I've learned so much from just practicing, I guess, with this one first. But since then, I haven't been able to get my hands back on it. And since then, it's been on my plant wish list. Okay, so those first 5 were on last year's wish list. I was able to attain it. Unfortunately, I lost it. So they're back on the wish list again. The next few to come, I've never had. These are really, truly wish list status with the exception of one, meaning it's a common one that I keep getting and I keep killing it. So hopefully you'll have some advice for me for that one. While you enjoy some fresh footage from the greenhouse, I just want to regroup quickly and just keep things in context. The next few wishlist plants to come, with the exception of one that I mentioned before, I never had before. They were on my 2025 wish list, but they were unavailable locally. And in some cases, I held off because I had to really consider my space and my care routine, and I just was not feeling confident as yet with the performance of the greenhouse to add new plants, even though they may have been available. Furthermore, I want to keep things as realistic and budget friendly as possible. Here's another spoiler alert. There aren't going to be any devil monsteras, mint monsteras. Frankly, to me, any of those new variegated monsteras won't be there because to me, they are just a dupe of the OGs, which are, to me, the Albo and the Thai. Who knows if you'll see it pop up in the greenhouse in 2027, but more as a nice to have, but not a wish list. To me, when something becomes a wish list category or enters that category, it is a to die for one. Not only for their beauty, but for the vibe, for me anyway, more than anything. Variegated anthuriums also you're not going to see here. And finally, if you missed it, I'm currently working on my backyard and trying to create a plant collector's tropical dream space. So some of these plants might very well shock you. Okay, so let me start with the one that I just can't keep alive. Number 6 on this list is the peacock fern. It's quite a common one here in Trinidad that I commonly kill. One minute it's doing great, and then all of a sudden it just starts to decline beyond me being able to save it, so it's back on the list. At number 7 is Anthurium king of Clarinuvium. This was one that was on last year's wish list, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to get one even though it became available locally. Magnolia Landscaping brought them in, and I just stalled because I was not confident in my plant care as yet, having moved. The greenhouse was not fully established yet, and my plant care routine and my manner in this new space, I hadn't grown to be super confident in as yet. It was just too soon for me, having moved, to take the chance and just add a new plant to my collection at that time. It was so expensive and rare, truly rare, back in 2022, 2023, and I couldn't believe that it became available locally. I'm hoping that one day I will be able to add it. I don't think there's any available right now. I could be wrong, but I think availability in general has increased, and I should be able to get one in the near future. If you've been lucky enough to get your hands on one, I would love to hear all about it. Please comment below and let us know how your experience has been. At number 8 is Anthurium deltaforce. The photo up on the screen is one taken by Samantha from SJ's Garden Haven. It's mind-blowing to know that these plants are available locally, and if you're unfamiliar with the hybrid, it's actually a cross between Anthurium fingers and Clarinuvium. And super, super great news for us here as the consumers, well, great news for me anyway, is that it has entered tissue culture. So I know it's going to be widely available. Another seller who has them available locally, besides Samantha from SJ's, is actually Gwen's Garden Oasis. I'm going to put some footage of the plants that she has. This is one of them here that's available also. And the second to last planter on my 2026 plant wish list is the pink musa or pink banana plant. As mentioned previously, I am working on upgrading my backyard and just turning it into that plant collector's tropical oasis, and this one has to be added to my collection. I already have the white one, and I really, really would love to add a pink one. I have been seeing them popping up locally, so I think my chances are higher. You can look forward to it, well, I hope anyway, in the update video to this one. Before I reveal the final plant on my 2026 plant wish list, I think it's worth noting the following. The ones I actually get this year, and of course I'll do an update video for you all, but more importantly, besides revealing the ones I get, I think it's important to understand why I choose the specific specimens that I do over others. In other words, what exactly I look for in a plant before adding it to my collection. As you all know, I'm very, very selective when I'm adding new plants to my collection. It's not only about price, it's not only about seller, but quality always trumps it all when it comes to bringing that special or wish list plant home. And the final plant, I bet you didn't guess it, is, and I was so lucky to find it at Countryside Blooms. It's trailing jasmine. I first saw it pop up on Instagram as a trendy plant to add to your indoor plant collection. But for me, because I'm working so much on my backyard or just coming up with concepts and ideas to decorate outside and looking at outdoor plants to really bring a vibe to the space, I just stumbled upon this one time and time again. And I don't know if I'm just moving on a whim here, but it really, really is such a big wish list plant for me right now. It's currently available at Countryside Blooms, and this is one that I have to get my hands on it as soon as I get cracking. More than likely, I'll do a shop with me video. I will be sure to let you all know first. And that's a wrap on my wishlist plants. Wishlist videos aren't just about collecting plants, they're about planning, learning, and growing intentionally. I hope this video helps you decide which plants might be right for your space, whether you grow indoors, outdoors, or in a greenhouse. Comment below and let me know which plant was your favorite from my wish list. Thank you so much for watching and being a part of this plant journey with me. If you enjoyed this wishlist video, give it a thumbs up. It really does help support the channel. I'll be sharing updates throughout the year, so be sure to subscribe. Until the next one, happy growing.